process. They think you're a joke. Trust the process. Feel no hope. Trust the process. Helpless and broke. Trust the process. About to give up. No. Trust the process. I make music to empower the people. It's time to wake up. Stop acting like sheep. No need for the shepherd in the herd. I'm not the walking dead. I ain't concerned. Never influenced or even amused, so you can keep it conservative and liberal views. Beats, rhymes, rhythm, life. Second time around, I settled the score twice. First act, Son G thought was the best. Turned out he wasn't, I laid him the rest. Rolo's here now to build the foundation. Rolo verse 2, chapter 12, Revelations. My lyrical scriptures remind you of the good book.
What's going on, good people? It is me, Rolo, and welcome back to Rolo Runs the City. This is episode 8 of season 4. We are grateful that we are here. We're grateful for your viewership, your listenership, and we're going to get this party started. And of course, guys, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at Rolo Runs the City, or check out my website, RoloRunsTheCity.com, or feel free to subscribe to my YouTube, Rolo Runs the City. Go ahead and click on that bell notification for every time we drop a video. You are notified. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to get this show started. We're going to talk about gentrification and why is gentrification being seen in a negative light. Okay, this was definitely a topic I really wanted to hit on, because this actually talks, about how gentrification gets a negative connotation because of the fact that it seems as if they're pushing people out of their comfort zone pretty much when it comes to living and how they're restructuring cities or whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a quick little quote from the great Muhammad Ali. A man who views the world the same at 50 as he did in 20 wasted 30 years of his life. The great Muhammad Ali had quoted that. And you totally got to respect that, because change and growth is the inevitable, right? It's best to adapt to the environment, knowing that the environment will never cater to you. It's always going to be an ongoing change, never ending, and that's just how things consistently evolve. Unfortunately, gentrification gets a bad rap because of the neighborhoods and the people it affects refuse to change with the forever changing climate, forever changing world. It is what it is. Not, only are we stuck in our ways, but people are fighting against something that they will eventually lose, and that is change. We change every single day. The same person you were today is not going to be the same person that you are tomorrow. I mean, even, literally and figuratively, because literally, you shed so much skin follicles and all that other stuff. How you think dust is created in your house? It comes from you. It doesn't come from anything else but you. Okay, so like I said, unfortunately, gentrification does get a bad rap. It's normally about gentrification normally brings out about change when people in the community refuse to do it on its own. So, perfect example of gentrification I know had occurred over on Moreland Avenue. I remember when I first moved to Atlanta, Georgia back in 2004, and it was just like, Moreland Avenue was just basically run down. It was hood. I mean, the whole nine. And like within a 4 or 5 year period from that time that I first moved out here, right, I was like, wow, like this place has drastically changed. So you went from, little hood houses, little trap houses out there, to people buying up the property, upgrading the property, selling the property at a higher rate. And next thing you know, it was like you went from seeing, dope boys on the corner to like looking at, police patrolling the blocks, people walking freely without actually having to worry about getting robbed. I mean, it was nuts. But it just goes to show you that gentrification is not necessarily a negative thing when it comes to trying to help, a community prosper. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are in that community that aren't a part of the criminal element that get affected by it, but that's just one of those things. If you're not adaptable to change, life will move on without you. Pretty much if you're going to ride the train, you better step on. If you don't, it's gone. It is what it is. You know, and I take my own personal experience. If I had refused to grow, I would have never went into the military, right? I would have always used the excuse about being born in public housing, always lived in public housing, and how my family was subjected to that. So more than likely my kids will be in public housing as well. And I think that is a faulty way of thinking, but I'm just saying, for example, that's a story I could have bought and sold and try to tell you like, oh, that's just the way things are going to be. But it's unfortunate there's many people who actually live by those laurels. And one of the things that actually is disturbing about that whole situation, just with the with the way things are in reference to people buying and selling that story, is that people actually they believe that that's what they live by. And it's unfortunate because you're so greater than your situation, you're so greater than what you think you are. It's like I always say to myself, man, I say I know the man that I am right now, and I know the man that I want to be. And I say hopefully, just I pray and I hope to God those two people meet. Like I know who I am now, but I know what I want to be, and I hope that we just have the opportunity to meet, because that'll mean that I'm on the level of being a better, grateful, creative being, that's for his community, for his people. And I hope to reach that level. It's kind of like, I don't know if you got some old heads that watch my stuff, but The Last Dragon, if you ain't seen it, it's a great movie. It's with Timok and Vanity and a couple of other folks. Talks about the glow, reaching the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to be. I want to be someone who reaches the next level. So that is what it is at that standpoint. But with that being said, gentrification, may occur on the external, i.e. in the poor, urban neighborhoods. But when in reality, gentrification also targets the minds of these neighborhoods. Will you rise to the challenge, change your mindset, get uncomfortable and grow? Or will you just be the same, living by the same sorry story? You have innately made your lifestyle choice to be poor. Do we want that? Or don't we? I mean, truly the choice is yours. So, don't innately make something your lifestyle that is something that you can see yourself growing out of. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that will fight through because they know there is better, they're worthy of better, so they can become better. I mean, not every person that's a millionaire, or even a billionaire for that matter, had a silver spoon, born with a silver spoon in their mouth. You have many self-made millionaires that are first-generation millionaires that they weren't given property from the older slave colonies that the inception of this country birthed. They are self-made people, and you can really appreciate the fact that they've overcame their situation to put themselves under a better light. And if we keep buying the same story, like we're not going to make it, believe you and me, if you feel like you're not going to make it, you won't. But if you feel that you will, you will. It's like I said all the time. He who believes he can and he who believes that he can't, they're both correct in their own light. So let's make sure that we're always on the right end of the spectrum as opposed to being on the wrong end, which would be buying the same sob story, refusing to grow, and eventually dying 1,000 deaths before you actually get put in the ground. Anyway, that's this week's show, man. Appreciate you guys listening to me. Greatly appreciate all the viewership, listenership. Like I said, man, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. Feel free to hit me up on Instagram at Roller Runs the City. Feel free to, if you want to go ahead and hit up my website, send me an email. Feel free to do so. It's rollerrunsthecity.com. Greatly appreciate you guys. Take care. Godspeed. Become the GOAT. Never a sheep. Don't sleep on your dreams. Peace.